Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of R&B Reviews. We're going to be looking at episode 6 of Wandavision, and again, I'm joined by Darren.
Hello, Wandavisionaries.
Yeah, this is the third episode and of our video series that we've been doing, where almost every week we've been talking about, what we've been seeing in these episodes, our thoughts about theories, backstories, comic books, all kinds of stuff. But before we get into the episode and discussing this week's theories, we want to give a shout out to all of you viewers for watching the videos and giving the thumbs up and everything, and especially people that have left us comments like Luke Film Boss, Mr. Movie Lover, Christopher Valencia, and Maurice Charles. So thank you all for leaving comments, and I hope you are enjoying these videos, and thank you for making them the successes that they are.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Now today we're going to be talking about episode 6, like I said. This episode looks more like an episode of Malcolm in the Middle, which I thought was kind of an unusual choice for me, because the first episode was based on the 50s, the second was the 60s, the third was the 70s, and I thought the last one, or the last two, were more like 80s, but this one, Malcolm in the Middle, came towards the end of the decade, and no, the fourth episode was a backstory episode. They were showing what was going on outside the world. So the fifth episode was actually, I thought was the 80s. I would have thought they would have gone something more popular during the 90s, like let's say Home Improvement and stuff. As something I noticed is that, they do Malcolm in the Middle, and the reason why I know that is because it's single camera shot. The boys, Billy and Tommy, narrate it like Malcolm in the Middle used to do. There's no laugh track anymore, so it's almost done like that type of show.
Yeah,
and
pretty cool.
Yeah, and they also have quick flashback scenes like they did with Malcolm in the Middle. This episode is very important because now Billy and Tommy discover their magical powers. We see a little bit more of Quicksilver.
Ooh, yeah.
And some other things that I picked up on. We learn a little bit more about what Wanda can and can't do here. Now, I probably should have mentioned this from the beginning, but if you've been watching these videos, we do discuss spoilers. So if you haven't seen the show or the episode, you may not want to watch it. That's my opinion. We discover, or one of my theories that I brought up in the last episode, I guess has been shot down maybe. I thought Wanda and Agnes were working together, but in this particular episode, Vision is walking around town by himself. He sees figures in town that are either not moving or they're doing the same motion over and over again. And one of the women, is lifting up a skeleton arm for a Halloween decoration with tears going down her eyes. And he discovers Agnes in the car, and he wakes her up like when he woke up his coworker in the last episode. And one thing is, Agnes says she's lost, and Vision's like, but you grew up in this town. Right. And then he wakes her up, and Agnes asks, are you Vision? Are you here to help us? And then she's like, Wanda won't let us think about us. And then she cackles like a witch. So she still could be Agatha Harkness, but I guess she's not part of it, I guess. And we also see that Wanda can move the town. Interesting episode. All right, well, your thoughts on the episode. I think I hogged it enough.
Okay, well, and you did a wonderful job hogging, Rob. You really did.
Oh,
you caught on to like Malcolm in the Middle. I did not catch that. I mean, I was thinking sort of like a Home Improvement kind of thing with, like Randy and all that. With the brothers fighting, but Malcolm in the Middle is really spot on with this one.
And a touch of horror, too.
Yeah, and a touch of horror. Let's get into the horror aspect. I mean, this happens in Halloween for a reason. And I really do think that the Lord of Darkness has come to town in the form of Evan Peters, Quicksilver, and they do pay wonderful tribute to the original costumes of Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch,
and
which is just, and Vision too, and just the shorts and everything he had in the original comment. It's a fanboy's dream come true in this, but they're not. They're also modernizing the costumes as well. I mean, you could see like anybody could put together that kind of cheap cosplay right there, and not go for the actual. Just the actual the total picture of the origin costume. They're very just created kind of cheaply, which I love, but we still get that illusion of the character itself. But yeah, let's talk about like with the Halloween aspect. I mean, I thought it was like Friday the 13th, you know, the bad guy comes to town seeking revenge, and we are convinced, I am convinced right now that the bad guy is exactly the Lord of Darkness himself, Mephisto. But Mephisto is a shapeshifter, and he could be anyone, anywhere in WandaVision. And I really thought we saw that in Evan Peters, because compared to Satan himself, but also Hades, and I picked up a really big Hades vibe when Evan Peters was talking. You know, like, oh, you don't want to hug your long lost brother, give me a stinking hug already, you know. And I saw James Woods all over that, which is the original voice of Disney's Hercules Hades. I mean, he was spot on with that reference.
And plus, Quicksilver seems to know a lot more, because
he knows way too much.
Because he asked Wanda, how did you create this town, and how with the kids and that are living in the town and stuff, and she even says, I don't remember how this started and everything. Like she vaguely doesn't remember how this all began, which I thought was kind of interesting. And let's talk a little bit about what's going on with Sword. So so the three heroes, if you want to call them that, Darcy and the Randall Parks character, as well as Rambeau, kind of been kicked out a little bit, so they're going to go do their own thing. I guess Rambeau's cells have changed, because of going in there and everything.
So basically Marvel is opening it up for the next Captain Marvel. But before she was ever the next Captain Marvel, she went through, Monica Rambeau went through a transformation, and just like her origin names, Photon, you know, because, you know, her mother Maria was a photon expert, which gave Carol Danvers her power by working with her, and then she adopts the name Spectrum before she's ever Captain Marvel. And I mean, we got Captain Marvel 2 now slated that Marvel's doing.
They got the villain cast.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, I don't remember her name, but I saw an article. I don't remember her name. I didn't even read it. Here's the thing: I don't read these articles and theories before I do these videos. I just saw they got the villain cast. I don't know who she is. That's news to me. Yeah, I'm sure you guys can Google it, but I don't know who she's playing or what have you.
But there has been a lot of fake news leaked though, so we don't really know what's going on. Even in an Internet Movie Database, like. I saw even before this episode premiered that Evan Peters only had 1 episode underneath his belt. Now he has 2. So we don't know what to expect. You know, I mean, Marvel is blowing our minds. I mean, at least mine. I don't know yours.
Yeah, I mean, this was a good episode. The last episode, I felt like there were more surprises here, but there were still surprises here. And also, something interesting is Wanda tells the kids not to go down Ella Street, and that's where Vision meets the people that are not moving, and Agnes, and then he actually the reason is, you know, that's where the end of the barrier is, and Vision crosses that barrier, and there's the sword soldiers and like Hayward, and he's kind of falling apart and everything, and that's when Wanda finds out through one of her sons, who can sense, you know, his father being in danger, that she extends the, you know, force field.
But also let's talk about Hayward too before we go on. Okay.
I noticed in this episode, in the last episode, his ears are pointy, so I'm wondering
fishy about that guy. And he also makes a reference to Nightmare, which we checked out like last. I explained about him, you know, and he's up there with Mephisto, and I don't think he's immortal, but Mephisto is immortal, but we'll get into that theory a little bit soon here. But yeah, I mean, basically, the devil is in the details. He comes to town. He wants revenge for something, and I will be getting into that shortly too. But I'm convinced that Hayward is Nightmare. But we also saw, when it was like the black and white version, I think it was the second episode, was Bewitched. There was a clue that it was the Grim Reaper's helmet.
I thought I saw the Grim Reaper during that one scene. Well, the statue where the boys are going around with Quicksilver stealing everybody's candy. There's behind Elizabeth Olsen, I thought it was a person in a costume. It must be a statue of somebody looking like the Grim Reaper.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Who really knows? But I mean, the Grim Reaper is also Wonder Man's brother. Okay, so we got Eric Williams as the Grim Reaper, and Simon Williams is Wonder Man in the comics. Okay, and what's really crazy is the Vision's brainwave patterns were adopted through Wonder Man. So he basically has like Simon Williams' consciousness. Okay, so that's just a little bit of theory right there. But I really think that Hayward is Nightmare, or he might even be Simon Williams himself, Wonder Man.
You don't think he could be Immortus?
Oh, he could be Immortus too.
Yeah, we were talking about this, with all these characters, Immortus and Martin Preston.
Yeah. Now Immortus. So later on, they have Kang slated for the villain of either Young Avengers or Secret Invasion or something like that. I mean, he basically is a time traveler himself. And he could be watching over Wanda, because Wanda has...
This is a show.
Yeah, Wanda has really her whole manipulation of creating a world that doesn't exist with her powers. I'm sure has really spiked some interest in just the whole cosmic, entities, like, is this woman like a god or something? We need her to be on our side. Wanda is also considered in the comics the Nexus being, the Scarlet Witch. And she is more powerful than anyone could really ever dream of. I don't even think that she realizes the repercussions of her powers. I mean, and we see that in the comic books, and I'm seeing it in Wandavision as well. But yeah, so Immortus is this being. He's the master of time, and basically he's recruited by these these other masters of time to join forces and to find, where all this amazing just magic and just power is coming from, and it is within Wanda herself, the Nexus being. So I'm seeing that unfold in WandaVision, which is just amazing in itself. But there are a lot of factors at play here. I mean, she created children, which actually could be mutants. Okay, so they have something. Marvel has something planned with mutants, how to integrate the X-Men into things, and she kind of does go crazy after when Tommy and Billy are taken from her, but we have not seen that yet, nor I don't know if we will until later on. It's just I'm such in the realm of the unknown, just casted there, as well as other, Marvel fans. I mean, I don't know what to expect.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I don't know if you want to start tackling some theories or what have you, but maybe I'd agree that maybe Quicksilver's Mephisto. Sorry, I keep pronouncing his name wrong. Is it Mephisto?
Mephisto.
I think Hayward is either the time guy. I keep saying his name's Ignoramus. It's Immortus. Immortus and stuff, and or it could be, Nightmare, and then of course there's you told me about Martin Preston, which is this guy that got disabled that ended up working for Mephisto to try to get these pieces back or something.
Right, yeah. He basically turns into the master of Pandemonium. Okay. All right. So let's get into some theory about Tommy and Billy. Okay. So Scarlet Witch actually was able to conceive Tommy and Billy through the use of her reality chaos magic. Okay. But so a big event happened way before that. When the Fantastic Four in the comics, the Invisible Woman and Reed Richards were facing off against Mephisto, they could not. He was too powerful for them, So it took their son, their unborn son at this point in the MCU, Franklin Richards, to actually destroy Mephisto, and that split his soul into 6 shard pieces. Now, in the comics, we don't know how Wanda acquired those shards, but those shards are Billy and Tommy, her 2 twins. So with in conjunction with her magic and the shards, Wanda was able to conceive Billy and Tommy. I mean, you talk about so far-fetched. Okay, so let's get into the Master of Pandemonium, that actor that you said, you know, he had an accident, he lost an arm, and Mephisto comes to him like as the savior of fortune, you know. It's just like, okay, you do me this favor, you gather all my soul pieces. But before that, it's important to note that Mephisto is an immortal being, okay? And his immortality and his powerful soul was enough to just integrate his consciousness into one of those shard pieces. So that's how he is able to now take on to recruit these servants to get back what he has lost, because he wants to reclaim his whole body at this moment. And so let's get into WandaVision now. Okay, so the Lord of Darkness comes to town as the dead brother, and Evan Peters, I think, did a wonderful job at portraying Mephisto and Hades. And you know, Marvel and Disney, they go hand in hand. But the story of Billy and Tommy is so complex. You know, it's impossible for Marvel to include everything. But they're doing a damn good job of it in WandaVision, which can really spill out into the MCU. Tommy is basically the speedster, like his uncle Quicksilver. He's known as Thomas Shepard because when Mephisto does claim them back for him to be whole, he actually goes to a family in New Jersey, where Westview is kind of, you know, is located there. Okay, so they're paying really good tribute to the comics with the Vision and the Scarlet Witch. And then we have William Kaplan, which is he's basically the Wiccan. He goes to a family in New York. Okay, and Scarlet Witch really meets them later on in the comics within the House of M, which is Earth 616. But they also are members of the Young Avengers that is setting up. So I mean, Marvel is just working so great together with this. We see that Marvel has Hawkeye slated where one of the next shows, and that's going to introduce Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop, and she's part of the Young Avengers as well. So we already have 3 Young Avengers in the mix right here. Wiccan, William Kaplan, Wanda's son, has telekinesis, electromagnetic. He could do electrokinesis. He could create force fields, flight, and just he has basically the same powers as his mother. But he does become the first LGBT character. He turns out to be gay and has this romance with another young Avenger called Hulkling. And they basically get married in the comics. So we do have a lot of diversity entering the MCU. And I was going to hold back, but I think it's important to know that because it's kind of the way of the world in some aspects for some people. And I think that's why we can relate to Marvel Comics, is just, it's so true. Like, these characters, they feel, they think, just like us, you know, just like real people. And I believe, you know, Marvel creates that illusion that we all are our own superheroes. And that's a beautiful thing. So we said that Mephisto could be everywhere. We also have, what is one of the characters, Rob, that we did not see in this episode at all.
Oh, Dottie.
Dottie. Okay, so we got Emma Caulfield as Dottie. She is slated for 3 more episodes. And we only have 3 because we're at 6. And we haven't seen her, but she has left quite a bit of trails of clues. Notice how she controls the whole town, like back in the 50s episode. All right. And she's like, oh, it's for the children.
Yeah,
what does Mephisto want the most is he want, or if it's even Mephisto, maybe it's the servants working for him. You know, for all we know, Evan Pierce could be that master of pandemonium or somebody else. You know, we just don't know at this point.
Yeah, we also haven't seen like Vision's boss or his wife since the second episode or something.
Right.
Yeah.
But you had that theory that Agatha is like you kind of bounced out that theory that Agatha is not working with Wanda at all. See, it's really, like I said in the last video, we don't really know, because at times she just seems so clueless at what's happening. And Vision actually had to tap into her mind to get her back into focus. So Wanda does have some power over her, and we do know Wanda is controlling everybody.
Yeah, now we do. Now she's her that the employee in the last one was like, get her out of my mind, because I didn't know whether it was Wanda or Agatha. Now we know it's Wanda. Right.
Could you imagine just recreating reality?
Or do you think it could be Dottie because, you know, of what you just said? Do you think maybe she's got servant?
Okay. So there's some speculation theories that Dottie is, in fact, the super sorceress of Clea in the Marvel Universe, which actually becomes a love interest of Doctor Strange. Emma Caulfield has played some very wicked and interesting characters in her career, and I would not put it past her being like anything. I wouldn't put it past her being Mephisto, because you know she just wants the children just to come to Westview, and she wants Wanda, you know, to probably get pregnant and have her twins.
Although
I mean.
Yeah, although we did see that at one point when she had to go, you know, extend the force field, the TV force field, Wanda did cause everybody to stop moving and be still. So, you know, maybe, you know, so I don't know. I don't know.
And it's just amazing how she can change reality and eras and everything. I mean, I am just totally blown away by the Scarlet Witch's power.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm willing to bet I haven't seen any trailers. I'm willing to bet the next episode's going to be like The Office or Modern Family, where it's documentary style.
Ooh, that's a good theory, Rob.
That's
That's a great theory. Yeah. So. But again, I mean, we went through the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. I mean, Marvel, nobody knows how to do it like them. I'm really convinced, and it integrates into so much more to come, and I'm just over the moon excited. You know, it's incredible.
Yeah. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to add? Great comic experts.
Yeah. Well, I try my best. There's a lot. There's a lot of complexity with the Vision and Scarlet Witch story, but I really don't think that we are going to see these villains full-fledged until it gets to the movies. But there also was something that Funko Pop, those figures, you know, leaked. And one of them was Mephisto, and they leaked Tommy and Billy before even this episode. So if you really want to stay in the know, look to the Marvel Legend figures, and like this, Vision and the Scarlet Witch. Before Toys R Us went out of business, I acquired this. I mean, there's clues in these figures. There's clues in the Funko Pop figures. And it's just it's just enough to just cause a total chaotic ruckus, you know, within us fanboys, to know what Marvel is actually thinking. But I'm seeing clues everywhere in their merchandise, just in WandaVision, and we're going to keep seeing those clues because
and theories
because they are masterminds.
Yeah, I do have one more theory. Now, in the episode, Hayward says, "Let's get rid of this nightmare." You don't think Quicksilver's Nightmare and Hayward's Mephisto?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Again, like Mephisto can be anyone, anywhere. It's just like, because remember, at this point, I mean, the Fantastic Four haven't even entered, so there's no way that Franklin Richards could destroy him. So I doubt that they're going with that storyline.
No.
Okay, because we don't even know. But there are clues in WandaVision for the Fantastic Four. And Monica Rambeau, if you look into those episodes, she throws them out. Like, oh, I know, we're getting together this astronaut team. Oh, I know a guy that is like an astrophysicist, and you know, he might be able to help us. That has to be Reed Richards, and that is who's slated to do that is John Krasinski himself and his wife Emily Blunt, the Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman. And I really hope they go with that choice. I really do. But yeah, Mr. Fantastic, he's one of my favorite characters next to Storm in the X-Men. But so much is being unleashed in these half-an-hour episodes. If you have not watched WandaVision, I suggest that you get Disney Plus right away and just witness all the wonder and magic that is WandaVision.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, I think we've got enough to go with for the time being. So, so all right, well, guys, thank you for watching. Again, feel free to leave any comments about what you think is going on or your thoughts on the show or, of course, our videos. And, feel free to hit the like button if you like the video. Please hit the subscribe button to get more upcoming videos. And if you're interested, check out some other videos of movies and TV show episodes of all kinds of things on this channel. And once again, Darren, thank you very much for stepping in.
Oh, no problem. My pleasure, Rob. It's just awesome.
Yeah, and some of the pictures featured in the last 2 videos that we did, he has actually put together these collages and stuff. So thank you for doing that.
Oh, no problem. I mean, creativity is part of my life, and I'm an artist at heart, and a former educator, and I could do that now for your channel as well. But I got some things in the works of my own too. Cool. So yeah.
All right, well, I hear your dog barking. That's a sign we better get going. So,
oh, yes.
All right, thank you guys for watching. Catch you later.
All righty, adios.